500 subscribers. So for our 500 subscriber special, we decided we would each do our top 5 games of all time. So we got myself, Bailey, Josh, Dylan, GUNDER, and Devin all here to talk about our top 5 favorite games of all time. So for me personally, my number 5 top 5 favorite game of all time, and a lot of you guys still know that I do still play it on my PS2, is NFL 2K5. Because its physics engine kind of blew me away. Madden still hasn't caught up, and it's by far the best sports title I have ever played. And for number 4, Dylan absolutely hates it, but I like it. Halo ODST. There's not much to say about Halo ODST other than that it didn't have Master Chief in, which in my opinion made it be a lot better because Master Chief just kind of lost his touch after the second game. And for my number 3 best game of all time, Modern Warfare 1, which I seem to talk about all the time in Call of Duty commentating, because Modern Warfare 1 really was such a good campaign, such a good multiplayer. It has become extremely cliched and has been ripped off by pretty much every other attempt at a first-person shooter game because it was so good back in, I believe, 2007. So, number 2 on my list, I have Kingdom Hearts 2, which a lot of you probably didn't expect me to put on my list, but it was probably, actually it was easily, the best PS2 game I played on my PS2. I had about 50 plus hours in that, which for a PS2 game was a really long time for me. And I got up to the last boss, never actually completed it, but it was a really good game and had a really good leveling system. And number 1, Pokemon Red, because it defined my childhood. Not Pokemon Red, but Pokemon FireRed. I never actually played the original Pokemon Red, but Pokemon FireRed on the GBA was easily the best game on handheld I've ever played, and took up hours and hours of my life and made me waste a lot of money on Pokemon stuff. But on to the next person. Dylan said he wanted to go next. So Dylan, what's your top 5?
Okay, so number 5 would be Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. It's just an awesome fighting game. It's not like any other fighting game, because, it's circular, it's dynamic and stuff. And the music is really good too. Has a nice campaign. So yeah, that would be my number 5. Number 4 would be GTA 5, and I don't really have to explain myself for that. Y'all know how awesome GTA 5 is. Number 3 would be Halo Reach. Back when I first got my Xbox, that would be all I ever played. I played that for a straight year, and a whole year of my life was dedicated to Halo Reach, so I gotta give it recognition. Number 2 would be Pokemon Emerald. I played that every day during elementary school. It was amazing. I want them to make a remake, but they're probably not going to. And number 1 would be Super Smash Bros. I would still play that today if I still had my Wii. Can't wait for the
Brawl.
Smash Bros. Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Okay, because I was thinking the Nintendo 64 one. But next we got Josh's list, or are you done, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Now, number 5 on my list is 007 for the Nintendo 64.
Ooh.
Now that's what started me gaming. That's why it's number 5. And it's all I played in the N64. I had some other games, but that was mainly what I played. Next one on my list is BoxHead 2 Play. Now this was a computer game in the BoxHead series, so your shooting zombies and stuff. I'm sure you guys played it, but it's number 4 because I would play with my friends all the time. He would come over and we'd go on the computer and we'd play the 2-player mode. Pretty awesome. And number 3 on my list is Star Wars Battlefront, and I'm gonna say the whole series, especially number 1 and 2, because I had the PS2, and my friend would come over and we'd play it all the time. I would even play with my brother when we weren't fighting about it.
It defined local multiplayer.
Local, yeah. Number 2 on my list is Modern Warfare 2, because this is when my friend, well, he's my neighbor at the time, he had an Xbox and he had MW2, so we would play local multiplayer on that game. So that was awesome. I think I almost prestiged. I got to like level 64 on the local multiplayer, so we played that a bunch. And number 1 on my list is Black Ops 2, simply because I played it the most, and I was actually kind of good at it. Now, it was like the first COD that I actually got really into, so kind of started me with the COD series. So that's my list.
So next, GUNDER, you want to do your top 5 list?
Sure. So my number 5 is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Just because I had a lot of fun with that game, like raising the chows in the chow garden, and just the music I really enjoyed. And it was just a childhood game, so I remember it a lot. My number 4 is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I chose this as my number 4 because I've always loved the Legend of Zelda series, and this one just stood out for me for its unique gameplay mechanic about resetting every 4 days, so you'd have to play the Song of Time to keep advancing in the game. Number 3 is Super Smash Bros. Melee, because Melee was my favorite one because the mechanics in it were a lot less floaty than Brawl. You could actually fight better in it without floating around and getting killed one hit with overpowered smash attacks. Then number 2 is Naruto Storm 1. I really like this game because as a kid I used to watch Naruto a lot, and I just thought it was like the coolest show in the world because there was blood in it. And the visuals are very nice, and the fights were always fun, and the music was very good as well. So my number 1 is Pokemon Emerald on the Game Boy Advance, because that was my like childhood game. That's all I played ever until my Game Boy broke, but then I got a new Game Boy like a year later and kept playing. So I really enjoyed that, and the music again was very good on that game as well.
Okay, Devin.
And a lot of people dislike that game. Whatever, okay, cut me off, Bailey.
I'm sorry, keep going. We all want to hear about Pokemon Emerald. Because that's
it's
like
okay, I'm done.
3 out of 5.
I'm surprised you didn't choose it. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, Devin, you can go.
Oh, for my number 5, it'd have to be Arkham City. It has one of the best stories out there. I think it's a game that needs no introduction, and it's one of those games where it doesn't need a multiplayer to have fun. For my number 4, it'd have to be Skyrim. I played Skyrim a lot, and to this day, I know all of the glitches in that game. I would pretty much run off, do whatever I want, kill dragons, and have a lot of fun. For my number 3, it'd have to be Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 was the second game I got on my Xbox before I got live, so I had lots of fun with that. I'd have friends over so we could play Spec Ops and local multiplayer, and it was so fun that I would play the campaign a lot, and I got up to 75% on completing it. For my number 2, it'd have to be Halo Reach, the first Xbox game I bought on my Xbox. When I played it, all I would do is I would play the story and I'd play firefight mode. When I finally got live, though, I would play multiplayer all the time, and it was so much fun. And for my number 1, it'd have to be Pokemon Platinum. Pokemon Platinum was one of those games where I could play it all the time, anywhere I go, and whatever time I want. Although Pokemon Ruby was my first game, Pokemon Platinum is unique because it had a unique style, and it was really fun to play.
A unique twist to the genre.
Is it
Yes, it was.
is it strange that 4 of us had Pokemon games as our number 1 or number 2 choice?
Well, it's no
no.
surprise. Everybody grew up with it.
Except for
Pokemon
Josh.
is the bomb.
Except for Josh.
I punch
didn't.
anyone who didn't have
I'm
Pokemon.
not saying
for
too
Josh,
bad about
when
the
we get back to
Pokemon
school,
series.
I'm punching
I know
you
a
in
lot
the
of
face.
people like it, but I just never got into it. So.
Were you one of those Digimon kids?
I was a Digimon
No,
child.
I
Or
never got into
Yu-Gi-Oh!
any of those Japanese type games.
I like to play Beyblade.
I was a Digimon fan, but the Digimon games were supposedly good, but they were ridiculously overpriced. Like they made like 10 copies of the game, then they were like, "Oh, here, it's $100 on eBay." Like nobody
You know,
really.
I do gotta make a point. The Beyblade toys were really fun, like the old ones that were made out of metal.
Oh, back when they were dangerous.
It's not the rip-off plastic.
Like the ones that ripped your skin off
Yeah.
when you touched them. Those were awesome.
But I never actually had a Beyblade, but I always kind of wanted one deep inside.
I had a
They were-
Beyblade.
I would probably still play, like, if they made the old models, I would probably still play.
Oh, don't worry, Dylan. I still got him. You want to come over next week? We can go take him out again.
Yeah, dude.
Well, anyways, guys, you have any closing remarks here?
I like
Happy spring break.
Not everybody's on
Any
spring
of
break
you-
like you, Dylan.
If any of you missed Naruto, I will punch you because Naruto was a great show, and I grew up watching that in 3rd grade. And
Naruto
don't
sucks.
shut up.
Childhood Naruto was the best.
Yeah, I used to nerd out on Naruto.
Do we have any legitimate closing remarks that don't involve defending Naruto?
I like girls.
Well, thanks for 500 subs, guys. Apparently, Devin likes girls. So, bye. See you all next video.